Hello guys, welcome to this tutorial and I hope you would be learning a lot from this. These are called regular expressions and this is just for the people who are taking the course of JavaScript at Free Code Camp. And yeah, I have just finished that, so I thought it would be cool to make a video on it. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Regular expressions are usually used for searching, like let's say if I open a website, or even like let's say so if I'm like using, so I type this word here and it gets detected here. So this is basically when free code coded this website, they might have used regular expressions in JavaScript or any other language, to implement this functionality for their website. So yeah, we would just be doing these exercises. So let's just get right into it. I don't have the time to read this, so I would just go. So the difference between the test and match method is test only searches for your pattern, and match uh, extract that pattern for you. So when you are just testing, then you implement that test on your pattern and pass in the string. And when you are extracting the string, then you have to pass your yeah, I'll just tell you in the later one. When you are extracting the string, then you have to pass your regex as a parameter. Okay, so this is just like, if you are doing this course, you would know that, like, what is required of you. So I'm just like doing this way right now, and if there is something more complicated to be explained, then I would just explain it. So like, they are asking you that a, a word can have multiple like possibilities, so such as we should match cat, bird, fish, and dog, and any word that is present in the sentence should be matched. So let's say, like, if we try to find this right now, free, and if I console.log, it would return false, because it should return false because here I am it's case sensitive. So to get rid of this, just to show you guys, it's showing false. If I write here the I flag, it returns true, so it ignores the letter case. So if I run the test right now, it should be okay, but obviously I have to store this in the result variable. This was just for the demonstration. So yeah, that that's good. And we have to search for free code camp. So yeah, this I is the ignore flag that ignores the case of the letter. So now, like, we are done with our test methods where we just search for the pattern. Now we have to extract that. And how do we do that? Like I was saying before previously, that the test method is implemented on the regex pattern and the string is passed, whereas in match it's the other way around, it's the opposite. So on the match, you would, while extracting, you would apply match on the string and pass the regex pattern in there. So we have this uh, yeah, pattern here, and we have to extract this string. We have to extract coding from here. So I've just passed this. Yeah, so we are moving forward. Find more than first match. So let's say, like, if I write twinkle here, and I will just say I, that means, like, okay, so this will detect this first twinkle word, even though the regex pattern is like the lowercase, but we are detecting the uppercase letter and the word. And it is because we have passed the I flag, like I had just explained in the previous challenge. So yeah, what we have to do that it should match other than first match, it should match all the matches that match our regex pattern. So you would add another flag G, and then you should just match. G means global, so it checks globally wherever your pattern of string exists. So yeah, that's pretty simple. And now it will detect all the twinkle, like whether it's 100 time it would detect it. So yeah, we moving forward. And match anything with wildcard period. So like wildcard period is just this. So that means like it would match anything. It would match spaces, it would match words, numbers, special characters, alphanumerics, everything. So we'll just like, yeah, but this is the wild character itself. But in exercise we are required to match the words that are ending with un. So how do we accomplish that? So dot means any, right? Any, it can be any letter, but un, that we are restricting it according to our exercise, that the word has to end with un. So when we like pass the first character, could be anything with wildcard period, and the un is the subsequent whatever the letters that are supposed to come later that. Okay, match single character with multiple possibilities. So like now if you go into the exercise here, if we see here, this is like it can match big, bag, and bug. So how do we accomplish that? And here our exercise is a bit different than this. They're asking use a character with vowels in your regex to find all the vowels in the string. So they're asking us to find all the vowels in this whole sentence. And how do we do that? We use character class. These two brackets are called character class, and a e i o u, and we have to check throughout. So let's say if I don't use this, it would only check how many vowels are in the first word, but I want it to check everywhere in the whole sentence, that okay, the how many vowels exist. So if we press run test and there is some error, yeah. And one more thing we forgot, and the sensitive flag, because let's say I is still a vowel but it is a capital word, so to be able to detect this we needed that flag. It does not matter if you put the flag before or like yeah, after the global flag, but I think we are getting some error. And let's see, your regex should not match any consonant. Mm, okay, there must be a problem. A E I O U, and there is some issue here. We want to use the character class ready to find all the vowels on the string. I has to be here. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, A E I O U. Okay, yeah, we have to apply this also. So we will pass our string because it's a match method, so string goes in, not the regex. Okay, actually sorry, the regex goes in, not the string. Okay, passed. Match letters of the alphabet. So they're asking us match all the letters in the string quote sample. So we want to match all the letters, and there is a shorthand, I guess, property that we can use, or we can just use character class and A to Z, and the characters are obviously both cases, and globally we wanted to check. So there supposed to be an error here. Okay, yeah, we have to, okay, and this has to be like this way, and passing our regex in there. Yeah, okay, so yeah, sailing. Okay, match numbers and letters of alphabet. So now here is another case that, okay, we want to match all the numbers and alphabets, but they have to be between H to S, and the number has to be between 2 to 6. So again, we would use the character class H to S and 2 to 6, case sensitive, and global flag. And once again, we have to complete this method. Okay, code sample. There are 33 exercises, so I'm trying to get through this quickly, and this is not really difficult, but obviously requires a practice and getting used to. So yeah, it is smoothly gone. Match single character not specified. So let's say we want to, like, this exercise says create a single regex that matches all characters that are not number or a vowel. So we want to negate, like we want to neglect uh, whatever that we want to neglect. Like in this case, like we don't want any number and we don't want any vowel. So yeah, so we would use character class again and negate. This is called caret symbol, which is at the sixth button of your laptop. And yeah, what do we need? We don't need any numbers, and we don't need any vowels, A, E, I, O, U. And then it has to be global, and it has to have a flag for the sensitivity. Again, we have to, oh, I think, yeah, this is very important to, do the same thing over and over again to be able to remember. Okay, yeah, let's go. Yeah, we're moving swiftly. Okay, so this is something that you should pay attention to. It's like match characters that occur one or more times. So it's like here we are going to use the plus sign to like catch this. So let's say if I write S, so that is only going to detect the S here, okay, because that's the first one. But if I write this S plus, that means, okay, S is occurring more than one time, right? It's occurring one time, but it's occurring more than one time, and it can be like on and on, right? So like let's just check if this works. And uh, yeah, maybe G here, or yes, so that's great. Okay, now if you want to slow down and like see the results of that, I think you should do that. So you wouldn't, like, you should console.log, so you should see like what was the actual result. uh okay, match the character that occurs 0 or more time. Now here is the thing, let me just demonstrate their example first. So like here it is like, okay, the star sign is making sure that, okay, there has to be first character must match. Okay, so if it's goal, then it's returning goal, and it's like gut. Okay, there is no U, here is O, but there is G, right? So the first letter is matching, so it's still returning G, but the third string is over, so there is O, but it is coming after G, so it is returning null because the first letter is not matching. So therefore this is the case for something that is occurring 0 or more time. Okay, so we would just create like just from the example, so it has to occur at least one time to work, otherwise it will not work. So we will just take this as a string and like, yeah, put a mandatory semicolon. Actually it's not mandatory in JavaScript, I guess. Okay, so what do we do here? We have to find a, so this is very important that first letter has to be a, and then a star and global, so it passes the test. But I wanted to do one test here too, so let's just say a, like maybe with sensitive flag. Does it work or not? Yeah, it does not work because of some shit. It does not work. Okay, so yeah, let's just keep on going like that. Okay, find character with lazy matching. So this is a very interesting subject. Lazy matching is like, there are two types of matching in regular expressions: greedy matching and lazy matching. So the previously whatever we were doing was the greedy matching, that it was matching, like it was giving us an option to match like from one place to another, like whole, like. But lazy matching, I'm not sure what is the use case of this, but let's say if you are going to search for here Titanic, so here maybe you would understand more about the 0 or more time, the star. And I guess like, let's see here, t a to z is occurring 0 or more time, and I'll tell you later about the question mark. But if there was no question mark, then it would return Titanic. Okay, but if there is a question mark, then this is a lazy match, so it would stop at t and I. So because there is no a to z between here, like there is no character here, and it is not occurring 0 or 1 more time. So this is uh, like I think useless case of this. So yeah, okay, here is like what is happening is that if you log this right now, because this is like, okay, dot is like a period, wildcard period is like, okay, anything, so it will include from here to here, it would just print it to your console. But we only want to print h1 tag. So what do we do here? We put a lazy, we convert it to lazy match, and here it would just like, okay, anything means like number or whatever. Okay, we got h, and then one character, okay, happens 0 or 1 more, 0 or more time, that's 1, and it is stopping where it has to stop at this tag. So therefore before that, whatever is there is occurring 1 or more than 1 time, 0 or more than, like more than that. So that's all from this. Okay, okay, so this is interesting. Let me just first of all copy this from here to demonstrate this, and then like we can solve this. So the example, like the challenge says that you have to catch a group of criminal, okay, and like criminals are represented with C if you read this description. So we have to like find like, okay, how many criminals have escaped from the jail. So but we don't know who they are and we don't know how many they are, but they stick together. This is what the example says basically. So this is C is representing criminals here, and how do we catch the criminals? So what do we do here? We just come in here and we have to look for C, and plus means like this word is coming one or more than one time, and if we run the test, it's successful. Okay, match beginning string patterns. So you remember this caret character that we were using to ignore while using character class. Now if you use it without character class, that represents that okay, it should only match the first, like at the very beginning of your string. Okay, so we'll just write Kyle. Okay, good. And now the next one should be at the end. So let's say we want to search at the very end of the string, then we have to pass a dollar sign. Okay, match all letters and numbers. So the shorthand for, like, numbers, and like before we were writing like a dash 0 0 dash 9, like this is the shorthand property for it, like slash w done, like it includes your it includes your alphanumerics underscore and whatever, it includes everything. So what do we do here? We pass in w. It says we should use global flag, so there it is. Okay, gone. But what is it doing here? Like, it is getting the length. If I could just be less impatient. So yeah, this is just counting the length of the character, and it is not accounting for the space in between. But anyways, yeah, this was just to show you that okay, whether there are numbers in there or whatever, it would just count them all. So that was the shorthand property. But here it says that okay, match everything but do not match numbers or alphabets. So what do we trying to match here? We are trying to match here, okay, how much space in here, and yeah, we are just trying to basically get to that. So the capital W is the opposite. The smaller w with the slash, it is going to match everything from letters to numbers. But the, like, capital W, the smaller w does that to match everything, but the capital W does the opposite. So yeah, so it had only detected, like, if I can console.log this too, so we understand completely what happened here. So it is counting the spaces 1 2 3 4 5, and this is taking that period also in here. Okay, so let's just, okay, match all numbers. So here is D is shorthand for, if I can write it in the comment. Oh, okay, so let's just say D is shorthand for, okay, I don't know, I cannot comment here. D is like, this slash D is shorthand for this. So yeah, okay. So D, we only want to match numbers. Okay, now we want to match all known numbers. So we only want to match this thing. We don't want to match 2001. So we'll just get the capital one and global flag, so it checks the whole string. Okay, restrict possible usernames. Okay, this is great. So this is a good practice, and I think I myself would practice this more, and like, you should also. But here, like, what to do, like, let's just take a look. So the condition says the username has to, whatever numbers that the username have, has to be at the end. So what does that mean? The letters have to come first, and letter has to be 2 or more letter long. It cannot be, the username cannot be shorter than 2 letters. Okay, so let's just, username letters can be, it's all written here, can be lowercase or uppercase. I am assuming that you are doing this course, so that is why, I'm just not explaining everything. So yeah, if you are doing this course, then I don't have to explain this information here. So yeah, what do we do here? Okay, so first of all, this flag, sorry, this caret character makes sure that our characters come first, and they are like, from any letter. They can be any letter, and then they can be 0 to 9, the numbers. And maybe I would experiment with passing, like D later, but let's just keep on working. And this too means, we will talk about this later, that okay, the letters are the minimum number of letters, or the numbers, the minimum number of the number has to be 2. But if I pass like here 7, that means like 2 to 7. So here we have to leave this infinite, okay, but it has to come at the end. So we'll pass an OR case, or maybe there are only 2 letters, and that's the username, because that's the condition also we have to fulfill. So we are creating multiple like possibilities. Plus means that the letter occurs more than one time, and then there is a number. So there is a number which will occur after the letters one or more time, 0 or more time, sorry. And yeah, okay, so we'll pass I, because user can type the username in any case. Okay, so there has to be like some error in here. hmm. Some error. So guys, like maybe we have to change this to const from let, and rest is okay. So this parameter like this is ensuring that it is OR case. So whether it would have A to Z letter in the start, and or a number along with that, and then whatever the beginning letters are, they have to be like 2 or more than 2, or they are A to Z, like just letters, and then at the end there is a digit and another digit that is occurring 0 or 1 more time, and this dollar sign is ensuring that it happens at the end, the numbers. Okay, so let's just run this and go ahead. Okay, yeah, match white space. So now this is like, this is very interesting. This is like white space, okay, that we have to match. So how do we do that? Just S is going to match the white space, and obviously the opposite is like match anything but no white space. So that has to be like that, capital S. Specify upper and lower number of matches. So here like we have to see. So I think it's very easy to understand if you like, pay attention. So here like we have to, like use this quantity specifier, uh, yeah, quantity specifiers, that helps you. Okay, the first argument it takes the lower. So the lower has to be 3 and the highest has to be 6. So here it says that okay, if the minimum number of h, because the bracket we learned in the previous challenge that talks about the previous letter or whatever the number is. So in this it has to occur 3 times, or 6 times, like between that, then it would return true. If not, if it does not matches this condition, then it would return false. So yeah, now here only lower matches, so we have to solve this, that okay, if only 4 or more z's are present, then pass, otherwise no. So ha and passing for the lower, but here it is not talking about the maximum value or the upper value, right? So we would just leave a comma here and leave that empty, leave it as open. So that means that infinite z can, infinite z can be there and it would still pass, but it would not pass if it's lower than lower than uh, lower than like 4. Okay, so there has to be some error here. Change the regex as the word has only when it has 4. Okay, yeah, the space does makes a difference, so make sure that. Okay, so now here the exact. So this is very self-explanatory. If you read the information given, so they are saying exact number. So here you just have to write 4. So if there are 4 m's, so there is no lower or upper, there has to be specific number, that okay, that's it, you cannot give more or less than that, you have to be specific about the number. So then return true, and it would return true because there is no comma, there is no only the one value. Check all or none. So that means like okay, favorite. So in the US the spellings of favorite are different, in the UK the spelling of favorite are different, and this question mark makes sure that it creates an optional case, that okay, this u is optional, maybe it's there or it's not there, but still return true if user searches for either of the cases of favorite. Positive and negative look ahead. So I would try to explain a little bit here. Okay, you see this here, this is the syntax, like kind of syntax, like bracket, question mark, equal sign. This is the syntax of the positive and negative look aheads, and here it is talking about okay, quit. So quit, if the subsequent word after q is u, then it should return q. If not quit, the subsequent word is not u, then still return q, because obviously it's t and it's not u, so that is why it's returning q. But let's say if there was another word, like this is a negative look ahead, but the result is same because here the first letter is similar in both cases. So that's all for this, and like we would just use the same approach here. And yeah, use look ahead to match passwords that are greater than 5 characters long and have 2 consecutive digits. So what do we got here? We have to use, like we can use some other like style in this, but since like this is like practice for the positive and negative look ahead, so we would just stick with that. Okay, so this is like a positive look ahead. The characters has to be 5, like greater than 5, so that is 6. And another look ahead that we have to create is, after that there can be 0 or more 0 or more like numbers or letters, because this is /w is the shorthand and star means 0 or more occurrences. And then the consecutive digits, there are only 2 consecutive digits, so we have just specified the exact amount of the occurrences of the digit. So that's all. And if we hit run test, it should work. You can rewind the video and try to understand it, but that was kind of easy. So here we have to do Franklin. If you would like to read, pause the video and read the description. Eleanor, dot is like wild card, that any, and any means like space also, right? So that's all. We would just do the regex matching here, and here we have to do is take our string match my regex okay. We have to use dot test method according to the requirement of the example. So in test we pass our string, not our regex. And Eleanor Roosevelt, spelling are correct. Okay, yeah, this space is messing up the whole thing, I guess. Yep. Okay, reuse pattern using capture group. So capture group, the syntax is like this, okay? So this is going to return like, okay, /w plus means like okay, A to Z, like any letter or any number, and then plus means okay, it is occurring more than one time, and then this space is accounting for the space in between, and one means okay, repeat this. So that means like there are two, right? But if you are wondering what is the third one just means okay, this is the capture group that you were capturing, so just ignore that. But if you are like capturing just two, so you have to add this one here. One is being captured here and the second one is being captured here after the space. So we have to create something similar. And what we would do here is we would just uh, yeah, here D, after that then there is space, there is one, then there is space, and then there is one, and we have to restrict it should not match the string 4. So that means like we should only, if there is more 42, it should not match it. So it should end here. Oh, it has to come inside here. In the future, I would be uploading CSS and HTML tutorials also. So be prepared. Lots of content is coming your way. So yeah, I would just not skip forward, but I would just explain once again. This D, that means there are more characters, like more than one number is being followed, and then there is space, and then there is second occurrence, and then there is third occurrence. And this caret character is signifies that okay, it starts from here, the digit, and ends right after the third occurrence is met. Okay, so let's go. Use capture group to search and replace. So this is very interesting, like the syntax is very easier, and like let's just take a look at this example and let's just solve that. So we want to replace silver regex, we want to replace this word with the blue. So simply replace method takes in two parameters, that are what do you want to replace and what do you want to replace it with. Okay, So let's say we want to replace this 1, 2, 3, right? They are our A to Z letters. So what do we do here? We will create a capture group syntax. One, there is space, then another, and then another. So that's all. And we want to replace it with 3, 2, 1. Basically, it wants us in this. If you read it, and if you read this one, then you would understand what is this dollar sign is doing. So maybe I'll just explain it here. So this code camp means, okay, code camp replace $12. $12 replaces camp code. So it's kind of reversing it. So $2, the second character, the second word in the string is 2 because there are only 2 words. But here we have 3, so that is why there is a $3, right? So it is kind of reversing it. So if we check now, okay, so 3, 2, 1, and let me see. Okay, yeah, one thing I forgot to add this. Okay, yeah, perfect. But let's just try one more thing. Maybe if we can, if I can just try to be over smart here and like try changing some stuff. Okay, so what does it say? Mm, it should work, but probably for some reason it's not working. So let's stick to our old approach. And one more thing here, if you see, you can just pass this directly in here too in place of fixed regex. Okay, so you don't have to create this extra string, but this is just for the clarity purposes. You can directly pass this into your replace method. Okay, remove, this is the last challenge, remove white space from start to end. So what do we have to do is s plus if there is like space is reoccurring more than one time, or plus at the end or at the start. And let's see, so it should equal to hello world. And okay, so what is the problem? The space is, yeah, one more thing, the slash is missing. Okay, now what else is missing? If the space is, if the space is at the start, remove it. If the space is at the end, remove it. What, this is not working. Let's just see what am I missing here. Okay, yeah, everything was correct, but we weren't like completing this method. So match, oh sorry, not match, replace, yeah, and replace this regex with nothing, right? Okay, probably this should work now. Oh, still, yeah. So again, I would tell you this. Okay, this is the pattern that we wanted to replace with nothing. So this is the pattern. Whether there is a whether there is a space more than once at the start, or whether there is a space more than once at the ending in this whole string, replace it with empty string. So thank you so much guys for watching, and I would be making more videos. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I, like it's not the code of this project, but I have like almost similar, like around 95% similar code that I'm going to upload at the GitHub, and you can just click like in the description, the source code for each of these exercises will be available. Okay, so thank you guys, see you in the next one.